Looks like I am live. Give me 1 second to make sure that this is okay. And then I will tweet it out and then I'll explain what we're doing. And it'll just be writing for, I think, an hour. And then we will play music while I write. Playing quick little live stream showing my writing process. All right. And then maybe I'll enable some kind of banner that says, if you're interested in how I write, writing today, and then I'll scroll it across the bottom. Something like that. Okay. All right. And I'll keep an eye on the comments, but I do need to write today. So I have about an hour and a half that I have for writing. And today I felt the inspiration to write this post that I've wanted to write for a long time, which is, hey, you've accidentally written a database. I was quite inspired by this old post on, hey, you've actually written a compiler. I will drop it in the comments here. And I think you just kind of copy it over. Oh, the other thing that you should know is I do keep all my draft ideas, my blog post draft ideas, in public. So this one is in the writing area, and then it just says blog post ideas, and this is somewhere down the middle. So if you go to github.com/swix/brain, you'll see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all these notes that I've accumulated, and then go over to, where did I draft it? Oh, it's right there. Okay, I need to realign this, and then paste my notes here. I don't think the title will actually be accidentally database. I just kind of like the idea that you've accidentally written a database. So, and I like this format, which is kind of like a sarcastic developmental thing, and it's also very short. So total word count is 445 words, which is very doable. All right, so I'm going to play some podcasts, and then I don't know. Let's see how this goes. May or may not be super interesting, but hey. All right. So first thing I want to do, fucking OpenAI keeps logging me out of. So, what the hell? Oh, okay. So I wanted to make sure that I capture the main specifics of the database. So let's just say this is the planning process that I'm doing. Start with KV store and then explain why it's not enough, right? So you need a schema. Then you need transactions. Then you need a query language, query planner, caching, backup. I might get rid of backup and recovery. I feel like I don't super need that yet. Storage engine also doesn't seem that important. Maybe a storage engine. I'll put it down here. I think that's it. Any other lesser known components? I got Bizarre for you, my readings of Louisiana, a brand new readings of my track Below, and many more great tracks. But let's have the loose. I should say I'm using ChatGPT to draft this, which I think is a draw for people. So let's just mention that. Oh, indexing. Forgot about indexing. Caching, indexing. Okay. Cache manager. Sure, whatever. Replication. Change data capture. This is super important. Security. Oh god. Logging and auditing. Yeah. All right. I'll make that a subpoint. Logging and auditing. Maybe I'll just put that here. Hey Sean. Yeah, Sean is the first commenter saying ChatGPT is official part of the process. I mean, it is. It wasn't previously. It's not like I do a lot of writing with ChatGPT. It actually hinders me more than it helps. But I think it's useful for brainstorming in case I miss something. It just actually just lowers the activation energy for trying to figure out if I covered everything. So yeah, great question. I mean, ChatGPT didn't exist before December, so I don't know if it's. I would call it the official process, but so my plan is to write something like this, and I've ordered it in a rough sequence such that um, and just to repeat, we're doing a databases version of this blog post, which I quite enjoy, which tells people essentially not to reinvent things from first principles, or that you will reinvent things from first principles badly if you don't recognize the shape of the problem that you're working on. And I like how short it is. I like how it steps from problem to problem, um, and I like that it's mildly humorous. So maybe I think I'll title it something like "Signs You Have Accidentally." Oops, I. Oops, you wrote a database. I feel like that's a better title. Here, madam, I'm afraid to inform you. So this planning stuff goes down here, and that's the rough track that I will do. Maybe I'll just mark this internal notes. Oh God, whatever. That you have written a database. I know you just wanted some. All right, so I want to write twists on it because I could just clone word for word this original essay, but that's a little boring. So let's make it a little bit more. By the way, I'm bumping up the font sizes because apparently someone's actually watching this, so that's fun. There's 6 people watching. What the fuck, guys? It's the weekend. Go do something better. I know you just okay. So instead of saying simple prototype, I said simple persistence. I feel like that's too close. I would probably do something a little bit better. I know you wanted wanted to choose boring technology, maybe. Um, but I think I'm deciding against that because choose boring technology. That's not the spirit of choose boring technology. So I don't want to misrepresent what that means. So I'm undoing what I thought. Anyway, Tongi. Okay, so it looks like I'm sticking fairly close to this model, which is fine given that I've given myself 1 hour to do this. So I don't need to be too creative. I think just doing this, but for databases, is a good enough gimmick.
Dombreski, I really love you. Before that, Tony Romero and hashtag All I Know, and Hertz and Gentine, Fine Day. Last year, Bizarre Rap had a massive hit with Volume 2, and this time he's back together with Shakira. And I'm gonna play this track for you, but in a very special remix done by Social Volley and Al Wolf.
All right. So let's go on from KV stores to schemas. This one is about ASTs. Pre-processing stage.
You're listening to Pro Life with TS.
So I'm gonna bring in some of my favorite database reads. This is actually one I submitted to Hacker News. That was 10 years old. It's still super relevant. What is base versus acid? Where's base? Does MongoDB not have documentation of base? Ooh, site mongodb.com. MongoDB drops acid. Okay. Where's base? Dude. Am I making this up? Okay, all right. I'll just take this one then. Base model, there we go. Sure. Now it's. All right. Who created base then? All right, ChatGPT, you're up. Who coins the base model in NoSQL databases? Oh boy. No. So I have two Chrome extensions that are fighting each other. This Chrome extension always runs every search by ChatGPT, and then the other one forgets what I ask it. All right. Dan Pritchett. All right. Well, let's do that. Notice that I haven't actually read the paper. I mean, I've read enough blog posts and talks that I know the rough pitch.
It's in Club Life by Fiesta. Ella Farber and Maurice Leslie follow. After that, abstract vision and Shaq moving all around. The Don't Summit remix. It's time for Club Life Request of the Week. Requested on Twitter by Brian Santa Cruz, who did send me a tweet with hashtag Club Life Request. Listening to all record of Club Life. And then this track brought a lot of memories back to him. It's also one of my favorite tracks. So here it is, Medina, You and I. it's just house all the time. House all the time. House all the time. In my house, it's just house all the time. 303, 808, 909. In my house, it's just house all the time. 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 House all the time.
Got an email. I'm going to answer offline because it's kind of time sensitive from Dang at Hacker News. Okay. It looks like I have to log into my other. So sorry, I'm taking a very brief break. It will be done in a minute or so. If I can remember my email password. What? Hacker News. Hi, Dang. Confirming that this is me. All right, I'm back. All right, let's go. Okay. The other problem you see in comment must be updated in another. Okay. It doesn't matter. The details don't matter. We're fine trading off consistency. We're moving fast and small bits of consistent and ensuring consistency in user land is really simple. Your new team members suggest. I'm just following the writing style here. And we're ensuring while keeping things simple. Maybe we'll need this in like 5 places throughout the app. So we can just extract some utility code to
The left, the right, the back, the side. The left, the right, the back, the side.
I already know this is going to be longer than the source post. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not that confident that this is a good explanation of transactions, but hey, let's use ChatGPT. Can you explain further what transaction managers do to ensure work? All right, ChatGPT, let's go. Begin transaction. Yep. Execute transaction. Commit or rollback. Recovery. Transaction log. Maybe we'll even split out the pending updates to a separate log. Since if the app crashes, we don't want to lose any user data. Okay, so I've done schemas, I've done transactions. Now I need to do query language or query planner. I think both things are fine. Okay, let's see what they do here.
Biscuits, house all the time. After that, Laura and Evo Kings, no more. Many views to the left and right. Vivian Smack, My Mind. Last year, Louisiana had a huge hit in Germany with a track called Phone.
You know, there was a Heisenbug in Elon's Twitter account the other day, and I will have to go searching for it because it's down in here. All right. Where are you, Elon Musk? Elon. Where's Elon? Okay. Can't see it, so I'm doing another search in a different app that I have. It's harder to search private accounts, which is stupid. Nope. No, I know it's recent. I know it's very recent. Come on. Okay, wrong. Where's Elon? Where's the girl? And I do quite a lot of self-references. I expect that at this point I have not been successful in. There we go. So this is about denormalized data. Not quite what I'm talking about here. So normalizing. Right, just gonna put this in. Okay, well, let's move on. So now we're going to talk about query languages. Can I combine these two? I'll combine these two. And then this is about performance as well. So this is about UX, right? And then this is about perf. And then this is about auth. I really like this, by the way, so that it kills the list. Do I need a query language? All right, that's the transaction manager. What are the roles of a query language? Retrieval, yep. Same 3 lines of code to join them together. Join every time. Maybe we'll I need to keep the same tone of voice in the same in this app. Then you saw that there were bits of data in the spirit of keeping things dry. You again wrote some utilities, some Begin. An object, a class of all these card creations across fields as but also taking care to have a consistent, addressable. That's another thing that I like, the feature. Addressable John API. React grammar. React component did mount grammar. Life cycle methods gist. Nope. E Byron. The beta React docs. 5 years and going. Hey Magnus, yes I do read the chat. What's up? I think there may be a delay because YouTube is horrible at chat. So, how do I do this? D Byron. Components did mount.
And then it's time already for the last part of the show, the after hours mix. We start off with Tiesto, Lelo, and the RGB mix.
Oh, 8 seconds? I thought it was like 15 seconds, but yeah, that's kind of the fact that there's a delay at all. It's kind of stupid. But what can I do, right? Anyway, how can I help? What I'm trying to do. Devirant, verbs, grammar, React. Let's do that. Come on. We got this. We got this. I can't find it. Fuck. All right. Then dropping down to Swix, React, language. This definitely has it. All right. With a consistent grammar. How do I bypass? Is that done by you or by me? So Angelo has a hot tip. You can bypass the delay in responses by turning up the stream speed to 1.25x. I don't think I can do it on my end, but it sounds like it's a your end type of thing. So that's fine. Possible API naming, consistent grammar. All right, pausing for a question. Mel X, has your idea of self-provisioning runtime evolved after working in Temporal? No, pretty much. Has it evolved? How has it evolved? That's an interesting question. No, I don't think it has actually. It is actually working out much better, faster than I envisioned it, because now the number of startups that are seriously pursuing this is actually pretty shocking. So Temporal itself is actually not that much of a self-provisioning runtime. So I mentioned Temporal in this post all the way down here, where we mentioned that we'll dynamically provision a task queue inside of the code. Pretty much that is the only thing that Temporal does. I think that there is scope to do much more, and all these companies that I've been tracking do different parts of that, melding language and infrastructure. So highly recommend doing that. All right. Magnus, do you invest in pre-seed? What's the best way to pitch you a pre-seed company? Your Twitter DMs are closed. My Twitter DMs are not closed. And if you are pre-seed, I have to have known you before. So pretty much no, unless you're a friend or unless we've worked together before. So good luck. I do highly recommend accelerators because they just give you so much of a leg up. I don't think that I've basically invested in like 2 pre-seeds, and they're very, very risky. You're in a much better spot if you do accelerators. Still, if you want to just pitch it in the comments, like what's a short description of what you do, I'll take a look. So thanks, Magnus. All right, back to work. We have another half an hour, I think. Let me just check my time. Oh, we have 45 minutes. Okay, all right, plenty of time. So we're talking about API naming. I want to make sure that I have all my references. So what I do here is check my my own notes. This is everything these are all my notes across time. So I do guessable, and that should show up here. Nope. That's all I got. So yeah, nothing much. Intuitive. I do have maybe like API design notes. Maybe that's. Nope. API design notes. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Forget it. Oop. All right. We're back to writing this. Okay. So we're Magnus says, probably a topic you can't speak on, but it would be cool to hear why you left Temporo. I discovered it recently, and it seems like almost every developer can benefit from it. Yeah, I agree. I'm a shareholder, still a fan of technology, left for people reasons. I'm at a point where I don't really need to work for a living. So if I'm not enjoying a job, life is short, and I can move on to something else. So that's the TLDR of that. I do still think it is one of the highest potential technology companies out there. But yeah, life is too short to work with people that you don't enjoy. Okay. So they talked about query language. Maybe it needs to be learnable by others. And maybe you want to expose it to end users, your apps users, for them to make their own queries, whether through plain text or auto-generated UI.
I was walking fearlessly, but now I
I don't think this is very strong, so I'm taking it out. All right, I'm leaving it there. Not super happy with it, but moving on. An issue. Your app grew out of beta. You got real users. Launched out of beta and you got real users. There are a myriad ways to tackle it. And you try them all. Your growing team wrote more code to use them all. Get. It's actually very hard to not use these terms because that's what I'm trying to do. The same queries get asked again and again. Maybe we don't have to pull from the database, which is slow. Can just save the results and return them without pulling from the database. Without running the just memorize the class, the front class. Reads and read, save the results, and return them without running the CRUD code. The rerunning the join, the read, join, and aggregate code. Okay, so this is that's caching. Then we go to indexing. The same. We can predict which queries get asked again and again. Maybe we can just pick a few quests. Oh, Magnet says, appreciate the blog posts. Thank you. Yeah, trying to write one right now. I'm a little bit rusty, so this is me forcing myself to work on it. Thank you. Yeah, well, I hope you write as well. Everyone has something to share. So I'm trying to explain indexing without using the word indexing. Quests that always get two of those queries and pre-compute all the results. That's indexing, normalizing. So this way, we're not just faster on subsequent queries. We're faster on initial queries, not just the second subsequent ones. So that's indexing. Normalizing. Some queries we can't predict. Some writes are slow. Maybe, okay, this is where I get the Elon tweet, because this is the very classic case. What's the music playing in the background? It is Tiesto's episode 828, 55 minutes in. So just look up Tiesto Club Live 828, 55 minutes in. He doesn't put the timestamps, so I don't actually know the name of the song. I wish he did, but it's probably too much overhead. I think on the YouTube you can see what timestamp it is. I like his White Lotus one. That one that was pretty recent and current. Shows that he's doing it live. Some writes are slow, like this one. You've read your designing data intensive applications. This is a classic book. When you all read designing data intensive applications, when your team's book club read, someone had the bright idea of splitting out some high fan out rights. And I don't super like this one because normalizing is not a strict database problem. It's more of a domain design problem. And pushing some of the load into data structure. Third normal form. All right, I'll just leave it there. Cool. Tackled all that. Should I put this last one as okay. I think all of this is of a kind, but change data capture is something slightly different. Okay, so let's try to end it. In the last, there we go. In the last leg of your journey, to avoid using a database, your new engineering manager, your new customers, and it's high-paying customers demand assurance that you have taken necessary. All right, sorry, that was my podcast. I'm gonna switch back to another music podcast. I don't know what I do have. I think I'm just gonna keep going with the. Okay, this is another music podcast I listen to called Switch on Pop. Last leg of your journey. Necessary security measures. Maybe people who should not have access to their data shouldn't have access. How do you ensure that your customers' data? How do you ensure that you reassure them that you don't have access to their data? How do you ensure that multiple
the very first song on this album has the same title, Victory Lap, enters the vocalist Stacey Barth, and I think it provides an introduction to some of the themes on this record. And one big one is the theme of financial independence, ownership.
That a user who finds
somebody pulled him to the side and was like, look, you can't just be a rapper, you know what I mean? You can't just be that. You have to give people a reason to want to check out your music beyond just because there's really rappers out here now. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? So business was always important to this. Entrepreneurship was always important. So when he said, I'm imperfect, this is just like, yeah, I have a dope album. I'm also involved in my community. I'm preaching lessons of financial independence. In a lot of ways, that's always going to be his biggest goal. When we're talking about Nipsey Hussle advocating for ownership investment,
I like splitting things out to bullet points because it's a little bit more parsable. I think this is super basic. Who is snooping devious hacker around your public APIs, undocumented but publicly exposed APIs, can't edit documents they don't own. Read what they shouldn't. How do you ensure users
from a song by the British rock band The Arctic Monkeys, it's their track Me Cyrus.
It's more. This is less malicious. This is more malicious.
Maybe on the surface, kind of a left field interpolation defined at the start of this Nipsey Hussle album, but maybe also testament to the diverse influences that went into the beats of this.
When something bad happens, how do you go back to figure out what's wrong? In time to figure out how do you know who did what and when? Your engineers sigh, but those enterprise contracts are juicy. Right, more and more and more code, and have them audited by a fancy security firm to get the thumbs up.
Significantly slow down. This track gives us an opportunity to learn a little bit.
I think that's kind of it. I can leave out change data capture.
His style when it came to writing raps and working in the recording studio. You see people like Lil Wayne or like Gucci Mane who just like knock out like 5, 6, 7 songs a day, and they just have mixtape after mixtape after mixtape. I call it the Tupac workout because Tupac is the same way. You know, some artists are like that. The song will sit with music for a while.
Maybe I'll add change data capture here. Maybe when updates happen, you want other things to happen, so you devise an ingenious hook system that triggers more code to run when you're not a database code completes things.
So how did this mystery hook come to be, Justin? So the beat had already been made for a while. Like the Jay-Z sample had been there, or they got rid of over time. But like the foundation for the beat was already there. Like Sam was Nipsey Hussle's older brother. So the story where he like came to the studio, he expected to hear a record, and so he's looking around the studio.
All right, that's change data capture. All right, now we finish the blog post. Okay, I need to shrink this down. This is a little bit big. Okay, so
something fast forward a little bit. Nipsey comes to the studio. He's thinking somebody else is going to do the hook, and he seems to die in the studio. And Nipsey's like, man, what the fuck was this dude like? Nipsey's in the studio, like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that's the dude who did the hook. And Nipsey's like, oh, he's fake. And so when I asked the question, I asked him, and I asked 1,500 numbers. I'm like, so who is this guy? And he was like, yo, to this day, we don't know. I'm like, you don't know this guy.
We can't predict which queries, but we want to make sure we don't request data we don't need, and but we want to request and data and data dependency. Nested data dependencies means some queries wait on other queries. Maybe we'll compile a little graph for query time data loader.
I don't know that hot new spot, the one your friends keep raving about, sitting across from your date. It's going really well. And that dish you've been dying to try, it's heading your way. You can smell it. You would sizzling fresh off that skin as it comes through. Go ahead, enjoy it. After your phone, take the bite first. Remember, and that's not if it happen, but when?
And caching layer to run this.
And one of the first things I noticed when I was listening to it was the strong influence of Mango's sound. high grinding synth line at the start of this is relevant of so many G-funk productions. Producers are copyright now, it's that weird. A lot of G-funk influence. Is this Nipsey Hussle maybe paying homage to some of the predecessors of Los Angeles hip hop? Yeah, I believe so. And again, Nipsey's producers, 1500, Mike G, these were all young black men.
All right,
at the time.
almost done.
They're young kids. They're outside in LA. They're hearing this music and the impact it has on not just them, but their friends and the community. And they know that this music is timeless. So, like,
The schema, transactions, query language, caching, indexing, query planning, author, security, authorization, write, head, log, query language, caching, audit, and audit log. Dear Madam, you have written a database. Cool. I could do the storage engine.
As you said, this track slaps. Yeah, it's fun to listen to. It's the most.
Where's the storage engine?
Song off this album, Victory Lap. But I don't know that.
Where are the main? What are the main jobs of a storage engine?
This caused consternation according to the internet, but I do recognize that he may not have been as mainstream as some of his colleagues in hip hop. And I'm curious if you think that was because of his sound, because of his choice to be an independent artist for most of his career, or simply because of his priorities as an artist. He says it a lot in songs. He says it a lot in interviews. Like, bro, we take stairs, we take elevator.
Retrieval, indexing, concurrency. Yeah.
That work ethic is on display on another track on Victory Lap called Dedication. And this track features Kendrick Lamar, a rapper who seems to have looked up to Nipsey Hussle. And I say that because he talks about it a little bit on the track. Here's Kendrick.
Especially when multiple users and apps access the same set data.
Philosophy that Nipsey Hussle is communicating on this record is really reaching his peers in the hip hop world. To win the respect of your views in a very real way, stop being himself, that's heavy, man, and that's deep, man. To hear Kendrick say that on his song with him while he was still alive, I'm sure it meant a lot to Nipsey as well. Because by 2018, I mean, Kendrick Lamar is a star of stars. You know, in terms of superstar power, he is the biggest superstar on that record.
That's it. So I'm not going to bother with like proofreading and what have you. I'm just going to go straight to publish. And this will be my first blog post in a while on DX tips. Let's go. So I like Hashnode. Wow. So many drafts. Okay. Awesome. What's the subtitle here? Those who fail to study history, to study databases are doomed to rot. There we go. Dear Madam, I'm afraid to inform you that you have written a database. I know you wanted simple persistence and a basic key value store. That a basic key value store will do. Oh, that's a major typo right there. Maybe keeping in memory as an object or read-write simple JSON files on this or to a cloud KP store. You said that Postgres is overkill and Oil is creating PDF messages. And yet 6 months later. All right, I'm pausing the sound because I'm proofreading. Uh, wow. It's really interesting that it's highlighting the holy shit. Nicely done, hash node. Amazing. I think this is done. Okay. I need to set the DX tips, databases. Funny? Humor? I don't know. Dev humor? No, I don't know. Whatever. I think that's fine. I don't have a series. I don't have an image. Everything else is fine. Disable comments. No, this is fine. Maybe I'll just say call this oops. Accidental. Oops, database. Let's go. That's it. That's my writing process, and then I'll publish it to Hacker News. Nice short URL down there. This is how I publish to Hacker News. And let's switch over to dx.tips and publish that. We're back on Hashnode. New great new Neptune editor. Hashnode Neptune. What is Neptune? Fantastic. Let's wrote a database. Let's throw in an image in there. Try to throw in images when I and then I'll switch over to my other accounts to promote them. This sometimes triggers like a whatever. Anyway, but I'm mostly done, so maybe I shouldn't just do that. I should say first re-entry back into my neglected tools DevRel blog. Wanted to make a modern take on as mentioned to Floyd. Please let me know if any quick edits, as I did minimal, as I'm sure I have holes in my database knowledge. That's a good way, writing a post like this is a really good way of practicing that. And then also, I'll just mention the process streamed here. And that's it. That's my entire process of writing a post. You've now seen the whole thing end to end. And it took longer than I thought, but hopefully it helps some people out there get out of their writing habit. It's not that hard. I definitely had this in my mind for maybe like 6 months to write. So when it was time, I just wrote it down, and that was it. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully that was insightful in some way. Bye-bye.